I don't really know why I'm putting myself through this, but I just have this desire to try to build a tiny house that will sleep 8 Sims. There is just something so fun to me about tiny house challenges, at least in the beginning. Like, they always start out fun and then kind of become less fun as you get further into the build and realize what you've gotten yourself into. So I've made a really big family for us to try and build the house for. This is Chelsea and their spouse Sid, and they've got 6 kids. 2 of them are children, 1 of them is a teen, 1 of them is an infant, and they've got 2 toddlers. And we are somehow, some way gonna try to have to fit all of these Sims into 64 tiles in game. And I think I'm gonna build it in Brightchester because I don't know if I've ever built a tiny house on this lot. Oh, even just seeing them all standing here is kind of stressing me out, but it's gonna be fine. We're gonna survive this. The rules here are pretty simple. We've got a budget of 33,000 simoleons. That's just how much money we get from having 8 Sims and for living on this lot. And I think it's fair to try and stick to that number. I don't think it'll be too bad considering how small it's gonna be, but I might eat my words. We'll see. And then most importantly, it has to be a tiny home. Specifically, I'm trying to aim for a tier 2 tiny home. That means we've got 64 tiles total, which might sound like a lot, but like this is all of it. That's 64 tiles. But with this, all of our skills will increase twice as fast. Everything is twice as comfortable. Our bills are less, and our happy, inspired, and focused moodless last longer. So it's worth it to live in a tiny house. It's just kind of hard to make something that looks good and is fully functional and also fits this many people living here. You know, when they made tiny living, I'm not sure they ever intended for it to be used in this way, but I just love a build challenge in this game. With 8 Sims sleeping here, this house is gonna have a lot of mattresses, and you know who makes really good mattresses? Helix. And our friends over at Helix Sleep are very kindly sponsoring this video. I'm sorry, that segue was low even for me, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them. I know it can be really overwhelming to shop for a new mattress, and Helix makes it so easy. They've got this sleep quiz you can take that'll help match you to the perfect mattress for you based on your sleep preferences. Personally, I'm a side sleeper, Dan sleeps on his back, and we both kind of prefer a more medium mattress, and based on those results, they matched us with the Helix Dusk. So you can take the quiz, pick out your mattress, and it'll come straight to your door with free shipping in the US. It comes rolled up in a box, and it's so easy to set up. It almost feels like magic when you're unboxing it. I've been using my Helix mattress for almost 4 years now, and it is the most comfortable thing I have ever slept on. It's so comfortable that I even got a second one to put in our guest room. I live in Florida, so it is always hot, but right now it is just excessively hot. The summer is just miserable down here, and there is nothing worse to me than feeling hot when I'm trying to sleep. So we got the Glaciotex cooling cover with our mattress, and I honestly think that it's made a really big difference in helping me keep cooler when I'm sleeping. All their mattresses come with a 100-night sleep trial, so you can really test it out and make sure that you love it. But truly, I love my Helix mattress. It is the most comfortable thing I have ever owned. I love mine. I think you would love one too. Also, with it being back to school season right now, this might be a good time to upgrade a mattress for a little one in your life. And the Helix Kids mattresses are really, really nice. They have a 2-sided flippable design, they're stain and water repellent, and they're naturally hypoallergenic. So if you're looking to upgrade your kids' room this back to school season, the Helix Kids mattress has got you covered. They've actually got a huge Labor Day sale on right now, so their entire site is 27% off. That is seriously an incredible discount. So you can go to helixsleep.com/lilsimsie to check that out. Thank you again to Helix for sponsoring this video. My Sims are gonna be really jealous because they're all gonna get like the worst beds in the game. But with that, let's get back into the build. Okay, it's been a while since I built a house for this many Sims, so I think I might start by just trying to put down all of the beds that I'm gonna need. That's for the parents, this is for the teen. I think we'll do 2 kids beds on bunk beds. Then we have 2 toddler beds and also a crib that we have to try and fit here. Oh my gosh. I think the teen's bed maybe could be lofted because we could put a desk or something underneath it. And it might work if we make it 3 bedrooms. So we could have like a bedroom for the parents. There could be a desk and a computer in there. The teen and the kids can all share a room, and then the little ones can all share a room. I feel like that's reasonable. I think we can pull it off. Okay, that's 32 tiles. I don't know if I want to use a staircase or not. Staircases take up a lot of room, but they're also really cute. Okay, I'm gonna do something really bad. I'm already gonna start cheating. I'm gonna have a fake room on the side right here, but that's fine though, because upstairs we can get a second bathroom. At least I think we can. I like this because it kind of has that like cute little townhouse vibe that Brightchester does. Oh my, I can't even place this. Okay, I am kind of realizing, and this might be a really foolish idea, but I'm just kind of thinking we can maybe move the fake room over over and put it there. It's actually attached to part of the real room, which is nice. I was gonna try to have a double bed in here. I don't know if that's gonna work, but we'll see. Maybe the kitchen could go back there. Maybe we should just let it all be one open space. I could have a fully fake room for the primary bedroom too. And I'll make it a really small room still, because I feel like that's more in the spirit of the challenge, but I think this way is nice because we can have a lot of stuff up here. This is not functional. That's how small these rooms are. Okay, maybe there should not be an extra bathroom and we do it like this, because I might be able to figure out some kind of way to fit all of these beds somehow like this. Maybe. Just maybe, I'm not sure. Okay, and we'll be able to put toys up here. That'll be good. So in terms of the building, I'm kind of trying to go for like this kind of vibe. I wonder if we could have like a little bit of an overhang. That's kind of ugly, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't put an overhang. Sorry, that was like a silly idea. I don't know what came over me. But look, see, I can put the roof and then it looks like a room even though it's not. It's kind of like a weird little prank. You know, it is actually kind of fun being sneaky like this. Oh, what the heck? Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, well that's not gonna work. I thought maybe I could put one of these, but maybe that would be better suited on the side. Nah, let's not pay for it. Fun idea in theory, not so cute in practice, right? Well, let's start paying for all of the necessities. I think we'll get a really nice wood floor. We'll put that in most of the rooms. I could save myself 476 simoleons deleting that underside of the stairs, but I don't want to. Okay, cheapest base game counters, because they've got a wood swatch that matches this. So we could do that. We can put a cheap stove and a cheap fridge. Can't fit a wide dining table like I want to. It's not possible. Unfortunately for our Sims in here, I don't think that they're all gonna be able to sit at the table at the same time. In fact, actually only 4 of them can use the table at the same time. And I'm sorry, I know that might sound kind of sad, but let's be honest, they weren't gonna all sit there at once anyway. So it doesn't really matter. I think for me, as long as there's enough seats in the house for everybody to sit somewhere at the same time, I'm okay with it. Because like they might sit and eat on the couch, that's fine. They can do that. I think I'm gonna use this TV from Tiny Living. This one's nice because it also has a bookshelf and a stereo. I did just have a thought that like maybe I should have used the Murphy bed from Tiny Living. It's really expensive, but you know what? Maybe I could at least use it inside of the primary bedroom. Cause one, it's kind of fun how it's like an extra way your Sims might die, but also it feels like a good use of the space. Oh, there's no front door. I was like, why can't they get in? Why isn't it working? I didn't have a door yet. But yeah, we can use that Murphy bed inside the bedroom. I'll use that color scheme too. Somehow I've got to try and fit a desk in here. I wonder if I could use a table and scoot it like way into the wall. Because then I can have this little chair off to the side. I actually really like how that looks. And we can use like this tabletop because it has a nice wood and some white on it. And I'll just give them a cheap computer because I'm scared about spending too much money. I want her to put the bed down again, but when I moved it, it like reset. I want to be able to see it so I can visualize the colors better. Okay, let's get a really skinny little dresser and put it right there. They could probably even have an extra book. Well, I haven't added any windows yet, so I'm gonna have to come back to that. I think I just wanted to get all of like the basic necessities in and then add to it after that, because then I know I have enough money. I'm not worried about money anymore. Now that we've done all of this, like I don't think it's gonna be a concern at all. In fact, I think we could probably even have a backyard. Maybe I could get rid of this and then put a door there. No, it's better to have the counter. They don't need to have a door to their backyard. They can just go from the front. Back doors are luxuries for Sims that are not living in tiny houses. That's like for people that have more space than us. I don't think we can pull that off. So I kind of want to copy the color scheme that this building has. I like the white at the base and then brick on top. I might actually use this one because I really like how it, oh man. Oh dear. I hate that. I hate that it doesn't work in the corner. It's because this wall is only 1 tile wide. If it was 2 tiles wide, it would work there. I think that's okay. I think that we can just accept that. And then I'll use City Living brick because I like this sort of orange tone. Only thing is this brick doesn't have an edge piece to it. Do I want it to have an edge piece to it? You know what? This one is nice because this one has like the edging at the base, but I don't think I want that either. I think we want this. Oh my. It's very orange. I don't know if I like it being that orange, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll come together in the end. I can use this little trim. I do like that. I actually am feeling like they don't look good together. Do you kind of see what I mean? Maybe we should try something a little bit more basic. This is Life and Death, this wallpaper. Do you have orange? No, but they do come in like some nice older looking swatches. And maybe we could do a stucco with a trim on top. Okay, these are all like a different color stone, which kind of bothers me. I don't like that like I thought I would. What if the whole thing was the same brick? Oh, this one actually works in the back corner, which is good. Maybe the whole thing is the same brick, but like some of the other side bits are more of a stucco, kind of like the white. Or maybe I should stop. You know what? Hold on. Let me put the windows in and then we can talk. Okay, I want to try and get a medium wall height door, actually. I want this one because this one will be okay on short wall height. See how it's not clipping? That's what I want out of this. And then maybe we do a bunch of businesses and hobbies doors and windows on here because we could do it like that and that looks okay. It's a big, beautiful, giant window right in the front. The primary bedroom's got a nice window. I might even make it off center just so it looks better from the inside. And don't worry, it won't be brick in there. We just gotta be careful with painting the walls because this isn't a room. Remember? That's why it's doing that. Okay, we'll put one little window right here too for the bathroom. And then we could probably have 2 matching windows up there. And I think I might just do 1 in the kitchen. Or, well, let's just make it less. The back can be ugly, I don't mind. 1 window for the bedroom that's got 3 Sims in it. I think it's nice. I think it's bright enough. I do think that this stone is maybe leaning a little bit too gray, and perhaps it would be better to be beige. Mostly because the windows kind of have that beige color to them. And you know what? I'm actually kind of liking this one. We'll definitely have to change the fence because it doesn't look good with this, but that could work. Oh, you know what? That roof looks significantly better than I thought it would. Wow. All right, what other kinds of fences are there? We have a lot of money, so we can even be kind of picky about what fence we want. I think maybe the white could be kind of nice. We could just do like a white picket fence. That's not even that expensive, so we could get away with that. I'm gonna get some beautiful little flower boxes in the front. And maybe 1 more window, maybe like a little window at the roof. Oh, well, I'm not sure if I like how that looks. I think I might switch these 2 rooms around. I don't know, I'm gonna come back to that. I gotta stop jumping around so much. We gotta just lock in on one thing. Maybe we spend the rest of our time trying to finish the downstairs and then we go from there. I think we want a really light green color. Oh, this tile is perfect. Okay, so we'll use that light green tile as the backsplash. I might use the same thing inside of the bathroom. This base game wall comes in a pretty and simple light green, so we can do that too. Maybe put it upstairs in the hallway. The kids' bedrooms can be a little bit more fun. And then I think possibly this bedroom, I have to put the, I'm so sorry. My Sim's gonna end up dying from this. Yeah, but we could do like a light blue wallpaper. Although I'm not sure if I like that very much. We'll change it later on. One thing at a time, one thing at a time. Let's see if there's a purple couch that I like. I'm thinking wide sofa, pastel purple. And unfortunately, that's not really a thing in this game. That's okay. It doesn't have to be purple. We can do this instead. I'm gonna get a really simple little coffee table too. Maybe there could be a purple accent chair. It's gotta be pastel though. Oh, maybe there's no coffee table. Let's just do this chair. There's enough space to walk past that. So there's 4 seats plus 4 more seats. That's 8 total inside of this room. We could probably also get a high chair. I'm not really sure where it would fit. I'm wondering if I could maybe put it like this so it faces the kitchen, or maybe it would be better for it to face the living room. I know it's like up against the side, but putting it this way is dangerous. Oh no, it's okay. Sorry, when I was doing that before, oh, it's not okay. When I was doing that before, the problem I was facing was it trying to slot to the table, which I don't want it to do because they can't walk past it if it's slotted to the table. That's kind of scooted into the wall. Can you get past it? Oh yeah. Okay, it's only 1 high chair, so you can only feed 1 baby at a time. Can you get around it like this? Oh, that is honestly surprising. Let me slot one right there and then just place it myself, because that's the big problem I'm having. I don't think I want it to be slotted to the table. I think I prefer it on that wall by itself. Okay, businesses and hobbies plant. Let's put that right next to this thing. Businesses and hobbies wall plant might be a fun idea for over here. I wonder if they can get past that still. Care to come upstairs? Nope, because you can't. Okay, I'll try this somewhere. Maybe it works inside of the bedroom. My cat came so she could help us. That's actually good of her because I think I'm gonna need it now. Okay, as far as like other necessities go, I've got some kitchen cabinets. I do want to have a kitchen sink. Maybe a microwave could be nice because then they could make quick meals easily, or at least more variety of quick meals easily. How does this look if it's in white? Oh, that actually is okay. So we could do that above the dining table. I got some pears. That is like 235 simoleons, so it's a lot of money, but I don't even really mind. I feel like we've got enough money to justify that kind of spending. Oh, what if we hung these up? These are free and we could like stair step them up like this. Let me try and scoot them over a little bit and change up how it looks. But this could be kind of a cute thing to put going up the stair wall, especially in a house that's a big family house like this. You want to have pictures of the kids, and it's like free and cheap decor, which is also good. Okay, I wonder if I could put a little table. My assumption is that I can't, but I'm gonna try. This thing can be scooted surprisingly far into the wall. I think that's the farthest back I can get it. Let's see if a sim can walk past that. Oh, it's a miracle. I actually can't believe she can walk past that. Okay, this thing is an extra radio, so I'll put that. And we actually technically already have one inside of this room. I'm just thinking like, because we've got the space, we may as well use it. I'm gonna get a plumb bob picture. I never use this. Maybe I'll put some umbrellas by the door too. Oh, I don't like the colors. Well, that one has purple, so maybe it's okay. I could also instead use the everyday clutter kit stuff. God, I would kill for a pack search feature. It's so hard. It's so annoying to scroll through. Okay, maybe I size this plant down and then I get this little hanging thing next to it. We could hang up the bags too. That comes in purple. Yeah, because that actually feels like a realistic little entryway for this family. Let me get a cuter ceiling light just so we can have something above the table. Maybe we should do one of the Dream Home Decorator ones because this kind of comes in like a light purple. Oh, that's actually really pretty. Okay, fun little touch. I'm gonna finish decorating the bathroom real quick. I think for this space, I'm just gonna use plain white tile on the floor. I do actually really like this sink. This is the sink that comes from Parenthood, and we can do a simple mirror above it. Maybe the toddler potty could go over here. It could be purple. I'll get toilet paper. We can have a storage tower because that's always useful. And then maybe some little things like a bathrobe, and we can get some clutter in there. Oh, the curtains look bad. We could do a simple shade, little hand towel. I feel like toothpaste or something. Yeah, that'll slot. Okay. Well, I think the hardest part about playing in this house will be having only the one bathroom for all 8 Sims. They're gonna be kind of fighting for access to the bathroom, and that's gonna be hard, but it's not terrible. It'll just be slightly annoying. I think if you played in this house, it would just require a little bit of advanced planning. That's all. I'm gonna let them have a brick accent wall behind the bed. I like that. I think I will put a full-length mirror on this wall, and then maybe some kind of artwork. I don't know if there's like a nice yellow piece of artwork. This is the apothecary stuff. It's not really yellow, but it is cute. 280 for a big gallery wall. Oh, maybe this could be over here. Oh, let's put the cork board. I love this cork board. And then what, like an extra plant? I'm not really sure. Oh, maybe a lamp, because they don't even have a lamp in the bedroom. So it would make sense to have a lamp over here, and we can do it in a simple swatch. All right, so that's the primary bedroom. I think the whole downstairs is done. We gotta rethink the upstairs. I do feel like maybe we shouldn't put much or anything inside of the hallway, because the hallway is really small. Okay, so I'm thinking that maybe, and this is a real stretch, but I'm thinking that maybe the bedroom could be like this upstairs. That gives us a little bit more space for the kids' stuff. Alternatively, we could try to figure out a better way to lay out the baby's furniture. Oh, well, actually, maybe it would be better like this. I know that looks really strange. I understand. I know what you're thinking, but actually, I think this could be okay. Okay, that's a relief. Let me see if I can pick like a slightly more fancy toddler bed, because we could do like this base game crib and bed set. And I don't know, these are just like kind of cool looking. It makes the room have this like mixture of pastels in it. So let's get a really small nightstand to put next to one of the beds. We can do that. Maybe the other bed could have a blarfy next to it. We can get some little things like this bookshelf right here. And I don't mean to give them like too many bookshelves. I know I might be overdoing it, but I could stick a bookshelf in this little nook, or maybe there could be a dresser in that little nook, like one of the tiny living ones. Maybe actually a toy box is better, because I think these Sims could really benefit from having a toy box. Okay, see, the dresser looks better, but the toy box is more functional. So I don't really know what I want to do. I mean, you don't have to have a toy box. We can just put toys and like have them on display. Also, I'm aware that there is no changing table. You don't actually need a changing table. Changing tables are useful and they're cute, but they're not necessary when you're playing The Sims with an infant. You can just change their diaper in the air like we did before you had a changing table, and you can obviously also just bathe them. So nobody panic. It's okay that we don't have a changing table. I am not sure that a changing table is really in the cards for us with this house. I think maybe it's not gonna happen with it being this small. Okay, I'm gonna put some little toys at the foot of the bed because those are super easy to access and they're not in the way of anything. And then I might even get a couple more and put them on the shelves because then the kids can play with those too. They might want to have maybe like, I don't know, a little piggy bank, because that could come in. Oh, that could bring the green. That's good. Maybe I put this little thing above the crib. Okay, infant and toddler room sleeps 3 Sims. That's done. Now I want to do this room. I'm not sure what beds I want to use. I'm kind of losing money by letting that depreciate, but I think maybe instead I might use the growing together ones. So this bed belongs to the teen. And then we have like a dinosaur bed, a polka dot bed. Those are bunk beds for the kids. They can just get like a plain little nightstand. I might use a plain desk too. I think an extra desk with an extra computer is really gonna come in handy. And then I might use the science table. I know we don't really need it, but I really like the vibes of the science table. And maybe this dinosaur one doesn't match. Maybe we do it in like, oh, that could be better. That kind of feels like the room has more of a cohesive color scheme. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I was gonna say that I like the vibes of this because it's a fun skill building object for them to have. We could also maybe have one of the little kids' violins, because that's an easy to fit skill building object too. I'm just trying to have a lot of things to do. So like maybe the bottom bunk Sim likes to do music, top bunk's into science, the teen is a writer, maybe one of the parents is a programmer, the other parent could be a chef, so they can do lots of cooking. People can read, they can watch TV, they can dance and listen to music. I've got this like blue and green wallpaper combo in here. I think I'll keep that for the big upstairs room. Okay, I'm trying to think about artwork that won't be too expensive that we can hang up on this wall. We could try that. I like that it has the purple. And I wonder if I could get an extra window, just so there could be a little bit more light in the hallway. And maybe one of these big hanging plants in the hallway too. It feels decorated. That's what I'm going for. All right, that's the majority of the house done. Now we gotta figure out the outside, and we actually have a pretty decent amount of money left to do it. You know, I really didn't expect for this to go so well. I feel like it's almost going too well. I might get rid of that window. Let's not pay for it. I wanna use the Jungle Adventure stone out here because it's kind of the same color as that. I might get another planter box. It's 85, but I feel like it's worth it. You know what we could do? Because actually, if we had another dining table, that gives us 8 seats. So everybody could sit and eat at a table at the same time. Oh, how about a bike? You know what? We could get a kid's bike and an adult bike. That's enough so that people can share. It's like 200 bucks. But I think 200 bucks for an activity that's that fun, because it literally is fun. It gets their fun up really high. I think that's probably pretty good. And then we can do some debug landscaping. We can also possibly get rid of some things that are maybe costing us too much money. Like maybe even this extra little radio that we did not need because I have a radio right there. You know, that sort of thing could be removed. Okay, I'm looking at some of the debug from university. I wanted to use trees and stuff from this pack, but there's really not that many debug trees in this one. I think I will use some businesses and hobbies debug. Let me just move the bikes out of the way. This businesses and hobbies debug is kind of just like, I'm doing that back here because it just fills in some of the empty grass spaces. Oh, can I fit lights? Oh my gosh, look at these fairy lights. They actually fit perfectly right here. It's like it was made to go there. So I'll put the table directly in between them. We can't really afford a grill. That's okay. This doesn't even feel like a starter home. I mean, an 8 sim starter home probably is never gonna feel like a starter home, but I feel pretty good about that because it's nice to make something that's this big. Well, it's not big, it's tiny. It's nice to make something that fits this many Sims and is still on a budget. Okay, I'm putting some big trees. I think the trees really help fill it all in. Okay, these little flowers are some kind of cute purple debug flowers. I thought about doing yellow at first, but I've changed my mind. I want purple. And I think I'm gonna put them inside of the grass that I just placed. I guess I'll even size them up. And maybe I'll get like 2 more to put in here. Okay, that works. Okay, I'm gonna get some terrain paint really quickly. I kind of like the idea of it curving around like that outside. And then as far as other outdoor activities go, I think we need to have something else on this little patio, but I'm not really sure what else should go back here. You know, we don't have a play mat for the infant. I couldn't fit one inside. So maybe we could do like the infant play mat. That's $100 bucks. That's so scary. Oh, a picnic blanket. I don't really like the red though. Never mind. Oh, yoga is actually pretty cheap too. So that's an idea. An easel spends all the rest of our money, but does look nice. Oh, there's also the flower arranging table, but we don't really have anything placed for gardening. We could do the apothecary table. You need gardening for the apothecary table too, but you can just plant stuff outside. How much do the planter boxes cost? Oh, this one's only 35. We could put a few of those. That's the one that you can hand make with the woodworking skill. Okay, another idea to save some money is that maybe we could swap out the planter boxes. I could use some cheaper or free debug ones instead. I also just realized that I don't have an outdoor trash can, so I kind of need to save some money somehow. You know, I probably scrolled past it a dozen times. I can't even find what I'm looking for. I found it, never mind. See, look, that's cute, and it's purple. I actually think that looks better. Like, aside from me just doing it because it's free, it honestly, I think, looks better than the other one did. So that worked out pretty well, and it matches the purple flowers better. But I think the dark color on it is nicer. Okay, cheap outdoor trash can. I'll just put it in the corner over there. I've got a potted plant, infant playmat, an apothecary table, a dining table. Over here there's some planter boxes, and we have 100 extra simoleons. Are there any other outdoor activities that might be fun? I mean, aside from like a woohoo bush, not really. I don't think I want to use the water balloon bucket. I find the water balloon fight's kind of glitchy. 159 bucks. What do you want to spend it on? The only thing that I don't have is a burglar alarm, but even with that, I'm kind of like, well, you don't really need it. Oh, let's use this round window. Oh my gosh, that looks so cute. Maybe I could put this window back on the side of the house like I wanted. Okay, How much does that cost? $32,574. We just need a little bit more terrain paint. A little bit of dirt underneath these plants will help them blend in. Okay, we've got fire alarm, mailbox, trash can, 2 Sims sleep downstairs, 3 Sims in here, another 3 in there. That makes 8 total. And we've got plenty of skill building and activities. And like, I think that we really pulled off something pretty cool here. And yes, I did try and get a little bit sneaky by adding some extra space, but look at how cute it is. I'm gonna put it on the gallery. I'm just gonna call it 8 Sim Tiny Home, I think. Okay, I uploaded it. If I were to have 8 Sims in my house, I probably would not want to live in a house this small, but if I had to, this will work out just fine. And also, if you wanted to play in this lot and you don't have 8 Sims, you could so easily like delete the extra bed. Maybe you only have 4 kids instead of 6 kids or something. So hopefully this ends up being useful for you, alongside it also being entertaining to watch. Thank you again to our friends over at Helix Sleep for sponsoring this one. If you go to helixsleep.com/lilsimsie, they've got 27% off site-wide right now, and that is a really good deal on a new mattress. So I'm gonna link that down below. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow, okay? Bye, everybody. I love building tiny homes. I don't know what it is. It's like my favorite thing to do in The Sims. I have to try to pace myself so I don't post them too often on YouTube, but I just love building them.